Hey there, friends and family. I want to just tell you about my amazing mother. She was a wonderful uh, mother, sweetest woman in the world. Loved her. My dad was just the same. Great parents. They were wonderful. Um, as far as what I will call course corrections, that was mom's job. And she was pretty good at it, I gotta say. And I'm just telling you this to kind of set the stage of what motivates me to maybe do a little bit better in everything that I do. And in this channel, I'm talking about the Savior and family history work, and my mother is my motivation. Um, Before I go on, this will make a little bit more sense if I just give you a little bit of background, and that is her wonderful ability to discipline her, we'll just say her oldest child, who seemed to not follow directions very well, which was me. And so, a couple fast stories just to set the stage. This is a map of my hometown. This is where I went to school. It was actually here, kindergarten through um, third grade, and then fourth, fifth, and sixth was in this building here. But this building is no longer here. But back in the day, late 60s, early 70s, this was the school. I would I remember coming out of school. My job was to just walk to my house, which is right here. So not too hard of a responsibility, right? But as a first, second grader, just a little kid, I thought it was fun to. There was a creek that goes along here under the road, comes up, um, and then it goes back under the road. But right in this section here, I used to go back and forth across the creek, and quite often I would drop my books. I would come home, they would be wet. Mom would like chew me out, tell me I could never, go play around the water. But I loved doing this, and I did. And like the week after she would chew me out, I would be back in the water, or around the creek. So this is where the building was. And this, I'm just going to show you a quick picture so you get an idea of the size of the creek. So if you can see it in there, I would play all the time through here. There was back, you can't quite see it because of the trees, but there was a beam that would cross the creek. It was maybe 5, 6 inches wide, a long beam. You just kind of balance across that as you went over it. And in the springtime, when the runoff, this was really high and fast. And there was one time where I came home. I had accidentally, right in the middle of this, dropped my book bag, and it was washed away. I come home and mom was just furious that I wasn't following directions, and she just let me have it. And back then, we would get. She didn't use the belt too often, but I googled here Fuller hairbrush. This was her weapon of choice. 1970 Fuller hairbrush. Go to images and I'll show you the one. It's like, there it is. I saw it when I went through here just to see if I could find it. It was like I saw that brush and I'm like, oh, that's it. And so I would get that every once in a while. And so that was one time where I got in trouble, and she was just furious. Who would have thought that she cared so much about books, right? I lost my books. So she let me have it for losing those books. Obviously I was the one she cared about. But um, one other fast story. This house, I would do this all the time, go through and then I would cut through these people's yards. This house here, I was probably third or fourth grade, and I talked my friend into coming along, and he came along, and we went through this house, or by this house, and I thought it, honestly, I thought it was vacant. And so I talked my friend into, let's just throw rocks in the windows. And so he did a few, and I did all the rest. I threw rocks and we broke every single window of the house. And we went home, and I didn't think anything of it, but later that night, my friend and his parents come over, and we're having like a big meeting in the front room. Mom calls me in and it's like, yeah, what's this I hear about, throwing rocks and breaking all the windows? And I'm like, I didn't do it. So I'm just like lying, and they're all like, well, your friend here says that you did, and his parents are all looking at me. My mom and dad are looking at me. I'm like, no, no, I didn't do it. And so they're like, well, I guess, I don't know. I guess you didn't do it. We'll talk to you later. And so about 10 minutes after they all left, I kind of walk out of my bedroom there, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of remember doing it. And yeah, out came the hairbrush this time. I think I still remember I had to drop my trousers, and mom just let me have it. She was so furious, and honestly, I have not I have not told a lie since, and so mom helped me with that. So with that as a background, she passed away. Let me get back here. So she passed away. Um, what 7 years ago. It's the middle of April of 2023 right now, and she she was the one in our family who did all the family history work. She did this for my dad's side of the family, and her side, she was our genealogist, and we did a lot of spent a lot of time on vacations, just going through cemeteries and getting information for her to kind of piece together our family tree. She was really good at that. And when she passed away, not a lot happened after that. I I did, I'd go to the temple. I did some things with indexing, but I just did not do a lot of research. One night, a couple of years ago, I was going through some of her things that I inherited, trying to clean out all these drawers and folders of her her genealogy work. A lot of it was already had been loaded up here in Family Search. It's already here online. I didn't see a need to keep it. I'm going through throwing away a lot of things that tie together all of our ancestries and all the sources and documents for them all. It's here. But I came across some papers that I wasn't sure what to do with. And I remember that night I was just like, what do I do? I was kind of worried. It was actually part of my mom's journal. And I was thinking, do I add it to her memories here and make it public? She was kind of private, and I didn't want to do anything to maybe make her disappointed, and so I was praying about it. I thought, well, let me just pray, because I did not know what to do. And so I'm praying, just asking Heavenly Father, what do I do with these documents? And I went to bed that night, and she came to me in a dream. And when I tell you what I told you about the hairbrush and getting chewed out from when I was a kid, and you know how our parents are, and all through grade school, junior high, high school, I there was a few times where I needed a course correction, and if you added up every single one of those, combined it together, times it by 100, that still would not describe how angry she was at me. In my dream, she let me have it like nothing I had ever experienced. And I know the reason why, and I'm not going to go into it here, but it was the most vivid dream, and it scared me to death. I will show you one thing. If you go into Family Tree, go to My Contributions, you can see what you've done. So I'll kind of let you guess here where I got that dream. So this year I had to teach a class in our stake. This year I had to teach a class in our stake. This year we had COVID. Yeah, I didn't do anything. And and I didn't do I really didn't do anything. This is when she passed away. I was pretty much forced to do some stuff because I was teaching, but on my own, I you can see I did not do hardly anything. And then it was the fall of this year. She came to me in that dream and just let me have it. I woke up and I thought she was still alive. I mean, she had been dead 5 years, and she wanted me to pick up where she had left off, and I was just being lazy about this. She let me have it, and then I started doing some things and adding some people to the tree and doing a lot of research, and so you can see what's motivated me. Fear of meeting her in the next life, and hopefully it'll be a little better meeting than the last time I that we spoke was in that dream a couple of years ago. But I do believe that people are they carry on after they leave this life, and they're watching and they're aware of what we're doing here. And this is an important work. And I guess if you're kind of a slacker like I am by nature, hopefully my mom doesn't come to you. You do not want that. So that's my motivation. Hopefully it is yours too. I thought you might enjoy that little story. So that's all I have for you now. Yeah, have a nice day. Bye.